Cute characters with colorful hair, girls with horns, faiz, aliens, vampires, and comical Japanese situations result in Jitsu wa watashi wa, or as we translated it, help me my crush is a vampire. The recap. Asahi Kuramine is a high school student whose biggest flaw is not being able to keep secrets, so gossipy is he that he was nicknamed Anazaru, which translates as bag full of holes. One day he finds the courage to propose to her, but when he arrives with her he discovers that she is a vampire girl. As a result of this he must keep this delicate secret, and a series of hilarious adventures begin. This is the story of Asahi Kuramine, a normal boy who is a little bit troubled and very much in love. Because of past rejections, he felt insecure about proposing to Yuko, but with the encouragement of his classmates, he decided to write her a little love letter. Everything was going normally, until, upon arriving at the living room, he discovered that Yuko had huge wings and sharp fangs. Both become very nervous. Yuko ends up telling him everything about his condition, ending up with the fact that he will have to move because now he knows his secret. Our protagonist sees a tremendous opportunity in front of him and promises to do his best not to say anything to anyone as long as she stays there. He also proposes to her. Well, no, he asks her to be friends, and the girl accepts. Then they have a nice moment. The problem is that someone was watching them, and it happened to be a girl from the gossip club. But not only did she see them, but also Nagisa, the class delegate who brutally rejected our protagonist. The next day we see her reflecting on how she rejected him, and although she won't admit it, she feels jealous because now Asahi is closer to Yuko. But, it turns out that the girl didn't reject him as such, since Asahi is a bit of a wimp at expressing himself and didn't know how to get through to the girl, who had never been in that situation before. So much tape burning makes Nagisa confront Asahi, who replies that he was in love with her. This talk turns hostile, and once again Nagisa fulminates our boy with words. Later we see Asahi having an egg sandwich in the classroom. Asahi accidentally has the classic anime stumble, but here it does not fall on Yuko, but from a desk falls some attractive snacks. Yuko could not resist and eats one. Because she was being so crafty, she ends up enchilada because the buns had a very spicy stew. The comic moment is interrupted by Nagisa, who looks with astonishment at the little vampire of the class. But this does not stop here. From the giant screw that came out of Nagisa's head and that no one was talking about, comes out a mini Nagisa, revealing that she is an alien, and despite her hostility, Yuko reacts quite well. However, Nagisa knows that Asahi is a gossip and intended to erase her memory with a sledgehammer. Yuko intervenes to prevent him from hurting his now friend. Seeing the situation, Nagisa concludes that maybe Asahi does know how to keep secrets, so the three of them decide to pretend that nothing happened. Now everything is fine, isn't it? Well, no, because it turns out that the girl from the gossip club had put a tape recorder inside one of the buns to spy on our boy, Mikon. Asahi's childhood friend was in search of the perfect note and had become interested in him and the red-haired girl. And in order to get information, she opted for unorthodox methods. That day Yuko didn't attend class because he had the flu or something, so the teacher asked Asahi to bring her hers homework. The tattletale decides to follow him, but thanks to Nagisa, our protagonist manages to go to the vampire's house. But the gossip girl is very clever and manages to get to Yuko's house, and because she's being a tattletale, a bunch of objects in a closet knock her down. Since she couldn't get much info, Mikon creates a photo montage with a fake story. Asahi tells her, "No, please don't publish this." Mikon says, "Haha, beg me dog." Our boy replies, "Well look, do whatever you want, I don't care," in the fucking protagonist. After that the girl starts talking to her glasses. Apparently they were bewitched or something, and they gave her that uninhibited and somewhat bully personality. The next day during class a mini Nagisa asks Asahi for help. It turns out that her human skin is out of battery and sitting on the toilet. Asahi has to go help her. With the help of Yuko they manage to take her to the infirmary to charge her. To make sure that no one enters, Nagisa leaves the place, but, oh shit. Maken runs into her. Surprised she says, "OMG, a Nagisa hot toy, what a fuck." Another student says, "Hey, let's see what's under her clothes." but before anything happened, Asahi takes the mini Nagisa from them and runs away from the place. He enters a shed where Nagisa reveals that besides being an alien, he is also Ant-Man and acquires a human size, but with a tail or antenna on his head. Apparently, a mysterious person is responsible for this. Nagisa gives our boy a coup to deceive his classmates about what happened. The same mysterious girl with horns returns Nagisa to her mini size. Mini Nagisa returns to her skin and becomes very reflective as she is falling in love with our boy, whom she has rejected multiple times, while Asahi spends quality time with the vampire. Due to her walks, Yuko ended up a little tanned. To combat this, the Nagisa decides to train her to combat the sun's rays. Asahi begins to study how vampires work, and Yuko continues to train by moving around the street, covering herself from the sun. When they arrive at a little market, Asahi protects Yuko from a man selling garlic dumplings and Christian crucifixes because vampires. Although apparently those things were only fiction. Then they arrive at a bridge where there was no shade to cross. Yuko was about to resign herself to being tanned, but Asahi tells her, "Hey, why don't you use sunscreen?" And that's it, problem solved. Now the girl can go out at recess to play. The next day, the lovebirds go out to roll around. Here there is a conflict because Yuko thought he was helping Nagisa to hook up with Asahi, when in fact Asahi likes her. So the couple has a nice day. They go to the horror house where Yuko scolds the vampire actor for playing such a lousy role. After a pleasant afternoon, they run into a kind of Rama but furry. He is a werewolf friend of Yuko's childhood who wants to marry her, but when he sees the moon he changes to his super beautiful female form. She tells him that there is no fart with her and that she has no dirty intentions. She affirms this while she gropes our little vampire. The three of them pass by Yuko's house, and here things get a little bit truskis because Rama turns out to be very horny and tries to seduce our virgin Asahi. Yuko is half jealous and returns him to his man form with a picture of the moon. Just at this moment, Nagisa appears. She looks at Asahi and the sexy girl in a very suggestive position. Nagisa leaves, but when she looks again, she is a Fururudo, and so it turns several times until Asahi ends up unconscious. The little wolf tells her friend to realize the feelings she has for the boy. The next day, a girl transfers to the school. That's right, the little wolf is added to the recurring characters. The little wolf wouldn't hold back her hot side, rubbing Asahi's face every now and then. And if that wasn't weird enough, another weird girl with horns and pink hair appears on the scene. And if anime has taught us anything, it's that when there's a character with colorful hair that stands out, it's because it's going to be important. This girl's name is Akane, and she is a relative of the teacher. Yoko thinks she is very kawaii and befriends her. Asahi asks her, "Hey, what's up with your horns? Are they real?" Akane makes a disturbing face and then shows that they are fake horns. She then walks away from them with a mischievous smile. Her shocking exit is interrupted when the teacher lifts her out of her horns, and then we learn that the girl is not a girl. She is an Obakan thousands of years old and is the headmistress of the school. The Obashan had the knowledge of all these girls with different conditions in the school. Here Yuko and Akane have a Truski moment and end up having a sexy beauty contest. Contest in which they both make fools of themselves versus the little wolf. The contest gets very tense and they end up blowing up the place. Then they have a cooking class where they have a great time eating desserts. Then they go to the swimming pools. And there Asahi and Yuko have a deep conversation. She tells him about her parents and what her life was like before she met him. While they were having a good time, Akane spied on them, remembering Yuko's parents and seeing them reflected in these two lovebirds and their hybrid love. Sometime later, the Mikan misplaces her magical haunted glasses. Asahi and the girls help her look for them, and it turns out that it was the work of the Obashan who was playing. Then it is explained to us that those glasses were given to her by Asahi when they were younger, but some spirit possessed them and now they talk to her. But not only that, but they are also an anti-love shield for Asahi because yes, Mikan is also in love with Asahi. Look at him, he is irresistible. Here a mess happens because Nagisa puts on her glasses and claims to be in love with Asahi. Because of this, Yuko and the little wolf organize an outing for Asahi and Nagisa during the town's festivities. However, the plan doesn't go well, and while trying to escape, they stumble and Yuko begins to realize that she has feelings for Asahi. The following days, Yuko starts to behave strangely due to her feelings for our protagonist. Then a series of misinterpreted events happen. Everyone loves Asahi, but no one proposes to anyone. When finally, Asahi decides to propose to Yuko, Nagisa is told to fight for her love, and so she does. She puts a lot of obstacles so that the protagonist does not reach the vampy, and when she finally arrives, she can only see how a fat and giant bat takes Yuko away. It was her father who had taken his daughter away. Asahi says no way, and with the help of the girls they go to the Shirogami residence. There Asahi confronts her father-in-law. Things are misunderstood once again, as it turns out that Yuko was not taken by force but was going to take care of her sick mother. Then misunderstanding after misunderstanding happens. The father-in-law wanted to mother the Asahi until finally they start talking seriously. Yoko's parents see themselves reflected in them, and in the end, they accept the main character. All that's left is for someone to propose, and that's it. Oh, and while they had a conflict with desserts and Akane, they unintentionally saved the world from destruction, and that's it. Tell me in the comments what you thought of this nice story. Give me a like to this video, subscribe to this channel, and see you in the next video. Bye.